Yo, guys, we're back with the Yu-Gi-Oh show post show because
Oh shit.
look, we started chatting, and I said this before. There's no way I'm letting it happen again where we have some epic discussion afterwards and then I just don't record it. So I don't know if this is going to be uploaded. It might be, but Dan, lay that question again, and then we're going to go into it.
Yeah. So like,
Let's go.
let's go in it. The bonus episode. So Neshi Fabs, you guys are married. I recently got married. Big up me. Did you guys notice like a lot of? Thank you. Did you guys notice a lot of change like when you got married or like any at all in terms of like your actual like relationship with your partner?
Do you want me to lay this on first, Neshi, and then you will go after?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so I would say yes, and I'd say a big. So again, as you guys know, I'm religious, and so
Of course.
and me and my wife met in the church, so there was quite a lot of change from my perspective. So what I would also say with regards to everything that I'm about to say from my experience is it might not be the same for everyone.
Yeah.
There's the biggest, most obvious one, which is sex. Me and my wife
Yeah.
didn't sleep together before we got married, so that one is one of the best, awesome changes in the world. Look, as you discover the different places you can do it and the different positions and all these things, it's difficult to be sad in the first year of marriage as you're just discovering all the different places in the house that you can have sex. It's quite wonderful. Yeah, so there was that.
So were you like fully saving yourself for marriage, Fab?
So like, yeah, we weren't virgins, but we were saving
Okay,
from each
okay,
other.
okay.
So it's like we're both in the church. We're like, okay, you know what? We want to do this thing seriously. We want to actually try and not have sex before marriage. It was difficult because my wife is fine, but I had to just force it and press past it. And by the grace, we made it. We made it over
That's
the road.
based. That's
Yeah.
so.
Yes, sir.
That's so dope.
It,
I like how
it
actually
was very
love that.
difficult, but yeah, as I'm saying, it was very difficult. Look, it was because of her. If left to me, it would have flopped on the first date. But anyway, yeah. So there's that part, but then there's also just having someone that you like, and I would say this will really depend on the kind of relationship you have with your wife, because for some people your wife is not necessarily your best friend. Your wife is just is your wife, and there's a different kind of relationship. For me and my wife, we were best friends, and that relationship deepened and got more dynamic and just amazing. So it's like having that person always around is such a nice feeling. And then it was also great because there's certain, so like I said, I'm a Christian and we're quite traditional in my house. There's certain gender roles which at first it seems kind of unappealing, I guess, especially to the modern mind, having those gender roles. But it's almost nice having that in my house. So for example, I can cook very well, but my wife does do most of the cooking. But it was nice because it's something that my wife actually even we were talking about it just recently, where it's like it's genuinely something I really appreciate, that she makes the effort to cook for me all the time. She doesn't have to. I can cook for myself. I make money. I can buy food for myself. But having that person that just does it in the house for you, like when you're living by yourself, you're probably just eating noodles and stuff and like not cooking well. But then my wife comes and she's prepared this incredible meal, and she's done it with a level of care and detail that I can't do. Little things like that. Or like when it's like I'm like just playing video games, and then she comes over, she brings me a coffee or something. Little things like that. It really, really does brighten up your day and make it awesome. So I'd say that's probably one of the biggest changes. Those little nice moments and stuff.
That's
And
wholesome
then-
as fuck, man.
Yeah, and then the sex as well. Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. What about you, Neshi? Like you said earlier that you were a religious man. Was it a similar kind of thing for you, or?
I don't know if I ever specifically stated that I was Christian on this, but yeah, I am Christian. I actually have a really similar story to you, Fabs, where we did. My wife and I, we met at our church, and we dated for and we weren't virgins at the. I think she was a virgin. I wasn't actually, but that was a time where like I took my faith seriously, and we both did. And we, when I asked her out, I made it very intentional. Like I said, this is in the hopes that we would get married one day. You know, like maybe like we'll date and find out if marriage is in store for us. If not, then that's cool. Like at least we'll figure it out. But we want to date intentionally. You know, we're not just messing around. And we dated for 4 years. I proposed to her on our 4-year anniversary, and it was at that point on though it was hard, like not having sex before marriage. But once you get engaged and you look at the person you're going to have sex with, it's like that's a completely different beast. It makes
No,
it a
yeah,
lot harder.
Completely agree. Completely agree.
But when we got married, I mean, it was amazing. Obviously, the sex was different because it's like that didn't happen before, and it's just a new way to connect in our relationship. But it's you realize you married a stranger once you get married. You like it's you don't realize like going into it you're like this is my best friend. I know everything about this person. But then once you get married, you realize how much you don't know about this person. And it's like a completely different relationship almost. And it's like it's not quite that to the T. Obviously, you know, you are best friends at the end of the day. But there are like little things where it's like, I didn't know this about you. Where it's I didn't know she was a clean freak as much as she is. You know, I always knew that, you know, she'd call me and, you know, when we'd connect every day, it'd be like, oh yeah, I was just sweeping, I was just mopping the house, and like when she was living with her roommates.
Leslie, I just want to quickly ask. Sorry to interrupt. I want to ask a question just to clarify because I have an inkling about something. Were you guys living together before you were married?
No.
So that just to answer anyone's questions in their head, and I think probably a question Dan had. But sorry, carry on, Leslie.
Yeah. She was living with roommates. I was living with roommates. Like she was living with some girls from the church. I was living with some of the guys from the church, and yeah. So she was. We'd have a phone call every day just to connect and tell each other how we're give an update and how we're doing, that kind of thing. But she was like, "Yeah, I was just sweeping the house," and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that's really nice of you to do." But then once I'm married, it's like she does this all the time. And it's like, this is amazing, but it's like, I didn't know how much of a clean person you really were. And yesterday she had the day off and I come home from work. Yesterday she had the day off because it was like a national holiday, but my work doesn't celebrate it for some reason. It's only certain jobs that do that, but she had the day off. I came home from work and she's like, I cleaned the whole house. I'm like, you really do like cleaning, don't you? That's crazy. But then there's other things, other aspects where it's not so amazing, or it's because obviously the cleaning thing is amazing, but it's like, I didn't realize until we got married how much of how difficult she was to work with when it was late at night and she's really sleepy, and early in the morning when I'm trying to wake her up to get to work. You know, she really loves sleeping and just laying down and just staying warm. I kind of caught that. Too. Yeah. I'm the kind of person though that just like rockets out of bed, and so she's the exact opposite.
Do you know what? Like, I got that impression when we first started chatting. You know, like I got the impression you were like a seize the day type of guy.
Oh yeah. If I can't get the hardest times where I can't get myself out of bed, I'll start doing a countdown: 10, 9, 8. And by the time I get to 1, I just shoot out of bed every time. It's like clockwork. I don't know how it works.
Bro, you need to be doing fucking self-help.
Nah, a lot. Yeah, you got that motivation. But Dan, I want to ask, how have you been finding it then? As you recently got married, then how have you been finding it?
So, do you know what it is? Like, me and my wife lived together for we've been together for 6 years in total. We've been engaged for 2, and we've been living together for 4. So obviously, like Neshi said, when you live together, like it's completely different. Like you learn so much about a person. So I think like initially getting married, like it wasn't that different, but it's like you said, Fabs, like it's just the little things in it that just make you feel like it just make you feel grateful, I guess. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like just make you think, oh, you know, this is fucking tight. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously, like marriage isn't for everyone, and you shouldn't get married unless it's with the right person. I'm a firm believer of that. Like to be fair, I'm a firm believer in that you shouldn't do anything for the sake of it. But anyway,
100%, I agree.
Like it makes me think, like, because like I didn't grow up. Well, I was baptized Christian, but like I didn't practice or anything like that. And you know, obviously growing up, like I didn't go to church or anything like that. Religion is something that I'm starting to explore a lot more in my life at the moment. Like I consider myself to be agnostic, if anything, but I do believe in the idea of a creator, and there are certain aspects of Christianity that I do tend to practice, such as, you know, love thy neighbor, all that. But anyway, I'm going off topic here. So obviously it was a little bit different in terms of that. But yeah, man, just fucking dope in it. Like just having someone who just like supports you and like for you to support, and like just it's sick, man. It's like lovely. But we've been talking a lot about, you know, marriage and all that love stuff, but it's important to look after yourselves.
Yeah.
You know, it's not always, you know what I mean? It ain't the be all and end all. Like don't be beating yourself up because you haven't got a wife or a husband or a partner or whatever. That doesn't mean everything.
I actually really just preface that I feel like we should say it for all of our guys who have been disappointing girls and stuff, and then been getting married when you don't need to get married. Look, guys, it's not compulsory to get married. You actually don't have to do it.
No.
Please don't get married. In fact, I would say that your default stance shouldn't even be I want to get married. Your default stance should be maybe I want to be with this person, because I feel like a lot of people don't understand it's forever. As you get married, like you're saying, yes, you can get divorced, but the whole point is that you're saying I want to be with this person forever. Look, if you feel compelled to have your penis in multiple vaginas, that's actually fine. But just don't feel the need to get married. You don't have to be Nick Cannon and have 13 different children. Like, don't do that. It's okay.
Nick Cannon is a whole different kettle of fish, bro.
Yeah, like just it really does get in my nerves. I can't lie. Sometimes the way some guys just go around spreading their seed everywhere, and it's like you didn't have to marry all of them. Like,
I was gonna say, like, the biggest thing as well is before you get to that point, just try and like live your life almost.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be
100%.
compelled to be with someone. Like, that's the thing. Like, someone
100%.
will come around eventually, and when you do find that person, it's gonna be, you'll know when it's that person. They'll literally feel like they're the only person in the world for you.
It's easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're got to be confident enough with yourself that you can be happy in your own company. And and I've always found that the universe has a weird way of doing things because of the fact that when you truly find happiness in yourself, that's when everything else starts to become attracted towards you, and you start to get everything that you want.
It's like I was saying to you about in that like one of those car rides. It's the law of attraction, isn't it, to a degree?
Yeah. So me and Dan always have like car rides back from locals, and we always talk about these kind of things. And it's always the case that like whenever in the conversation this kind of stuff comes up, we always say that, you'll find your best self when you know that you are enough for yourself and not, you love yourself
When you're complete
more.
yourself, basically, innit? Like,
Yeah.
Like, you gotta love yourself before you look for love in someone else.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Yeah, a saying that I've heard a lot too is be the person that the person you're looking for is looking for.
You know what?
That's a good
Like,
way to put it.
that's really nice. And to be honest, that was like something that kind of really changed my outlook on life. Like a similar kind of thing. Like, I'm not sure what happened. But like over the last couple of years, like I've learned a lot about myself, and like I've really started to become the person who I think a younger version of me would be more proud of. And I think it's I don't know what happened. I think I just woke up one day and I was like, do you know what? Like, it actually just costs nothing to be nice, in it. Like, there's no need to just be an angry little prick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, life is beautiful. Like, let's not lie to ourselves. Like, be grateful. Not in like a preachy way or anything, but like, there's so much to be grateful for, and like sometimes you just have to take a step back and be like, do you know what? Like, there's a lot to be happy about. There's a lot to be sad about as well, because I don't want this to be like, it's so you should never be sad, because you should fucking be sad because it's part of being human. But just appreciate things, like treat people how you want to be treated. Like, I don't know. I'm a firm believer in not karma, but like just if you are a good person, like what was that book? Do you remember that? Maybe this is a British thing, so you might, if you don't get this next year, I apologize. But do you remember that book? By fucking Roald Dahl, I think it was. I don't remember which one it was, but it was like,
I know. Was it the Twits or?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The good thoughts.
I know
through
Roald
even
Dahl.
the ugliest faces.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Roald Dahl. Americans know about Roald Dahl.
Yeah, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and then
Of course. Yeah.
and the BFG.
Oh man, because this is like such a big thing, and like, especially at least it was when I was growing up. Anyway, I didn't know if it translated to across the pond. So that's dope, man. That's dope. Shout out Roald Dahl doing bits.
Oh, Roald Dahl's a G.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a big one. I think as well, just that whole mentality of, again, like, and I think it's the whole mentality of not being an arsehole for the sake of being an arsehole, but then it's also just minding your business as well. Like,
For real.
Yeah, don't feel compelled to like share your opinion with everyone. Don't feel compelled to tell if you don't like something someone's doing, or if you don't like the way they're doing their life. You don't feel compelled that you have to disturb them for it.
Yeah, man. Like, if they're not hurting anyone and like it's not affecting your life, just let them crack on in it.
Yeah. Like unless they're if they're your best mate, and for example they're doing things like walking into roads routinely and getting run over, then yeah, like you need to have
You should probably be asking them if they're all right. innit?
have a conversation with them that what's going on. But with the exception of that, really just mind your own business. It's none of your business.
Do your thing in it. Actually, like this kind of just brings me on to something. Like I'm not sure. I might have had this conversation with Nate. But I honestly I can't remember in it. So like, what is your guys' like proudest moments? Like, it doesn't even have to be Yu-Gi-Oh related in it. Just like in life. Like, are there any particular points that stand out and think like, this is like I know that this is going to be something that I'm going to look back and feel so accomplished by. If you get what I mean. Anything in particular you want to share, or like anything that comes straight to mind, or
I'll go first because I think mine's quite obvious. So for those who don't know on the podcast, before like doing the whole Yu-Gi-Oh thing, I was like a professional touring musician, and right before, and I was doing it from quite a young age. I was hanging around about 16, 17. I then got asked if I wanted to. Well, I put my name forward for this band. They're quite a large metalcore band from Southampton. And basically, they were the first band to take me overseas and do a full UK and European tour. Bearing in mind, they weren't like massive stages, but like going overseas, headlining, especially like headlining is such a big deal when you're kind of like a small band largest band, but when you're like 19, 20 and you haven't really played headliner shows before, it's just a massive experience, and having people come out to like shows and saying that they've listened to your music from all over the world, such a big accomplishment really, and it really shows you like what hard work and dedication can really like bring
enjoy the fruits of your labor, sort of thing.
Yeah, and then also
That's
it was
awesome.
like, I guess as well, doing like the Sanctum stuff and also working hard on being a better player as well. That's a really big accomplishment. And also, I think you and me both got our Nats invite. Well, sorry, our Euros invites last year, Dan.
Yeah, we did. It was the first time I got my Euros invite. To be honest, so I was pretty gassed about that. Shout out Runic, best deck ever. But sorry, not go on.
And like being able to, and I'll also say this as well because I probably brought this up on the podcast before, but like top in your OTS champion, like my OTS championship at Dudley, which was not only a store with mates that I'd gotten to know really closely over like the last few months, but also like with it being my sort of quote unquote local store, it just meant a little bit more sentimental to me, and that was definitely a really big accomplishment.
Yeah, that's a solid one. And just on that as well, I think a lot of people like might have the mentality that it's just a top or whatever. But look, I don't know about you guys, but I get excited even if I don't top. I get excited if I go into a tournament and I get a positive score, because that doesn't happen all the time. So yeah, like talk your talk, bro. Yeah, sick. You did a sick job. You got the top, and yeah, that's sick, bro. Good job. It's
a good outlook.
Yeah, man.
Shout out Jake for handing me the entire deck 2 days before.
And the true brains behind the outfit. Shout out to Jake from Sanctum Squad. We love you, and we hope to see you soon.
I didn't need to play bloody Emerald Turtle, Jake.
What's going on with Jake? Is he in a hospital or something?
No. He's we just haven't spoken to him in a while. He's just been doing his thing.
Yeah.
Just real life gets in the way, innit?
And grinding away.
Yeah, you know it, man. You know it.
I feel that. Yeah, you guys are talking about him like he's dead or something. Like, yeah, shout outs to Jake. Yeah, miss you, man.
No, do you know what it is, man? Do you know what it is? For me personally, like I like to talk about people like in like just a way that I want people to talk about me in a sense. And I'm kind of rambling here, but do you know what it is? Like you know when people pass on, people. I always heard that saying like, "Oh, people love you more when you're dead," and I've had like, I'm not going to get deep in it, but I've had like quite a lot of loss in my life, and it really made me think. Do you know what? Like, we have to show people their flowers while we can.
Yeah.
Like not to bring the mood down, but like, so if you're my Don, like I'm going to show you that love, and I'm going to give you the love that I want to be able to give you while I still can in it. Like, because I could die tomorrow. Like not to be morbid in it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, this could be the last time you see this person.
For sure, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, which is like I always make the effort to be like, just spread love in it, love everyone, but not in the weird way that some people do.
That's true.
Anyway,
but-
Neshi,
Yeah, it's true.
going back to the
I like
original
that.
question, like, is there a particular moment in your life where you'd be like, yeah, do you know what? I fucking batted this, like I smashed this.
I can't think of anything really. Like nothing really comes to mind. I guess recently, getting married was huge, and
Of course.
yeah, I'm sorry guys, I took the best wife in the world, so you have to get the next up after that. But I think it was really cool that I was able to top a regional in October with Crystal Beast. That's like always been my dream with Yu-Gi-Oh, and I finally did it. So that was really cool.
That's
I love that I finally got to like put into practice what I preach, because I make all these videos about Crystal Beast, but it's like now I have something to really back it up, something solid.
Yeah, I like that definitely. And again, topping with a deck like that, like it's not a straightforward thing, especially when you're coming up against all kinds of meta nonsense and stuff. So yeah, the fact you're able to do that, that's solid. I definitely like that one, bro. Yeah.
Oh yeah, in the middle of
Yeah.
like tier 0 format.
Yeah.
The thing is, I was watching your video, where you went over the deck profile and stuff, and like you could even tell, like from that and like the little kind of epilogue thing you did on that, you could tell that there was such a feeling of like it wasn't like a normal sort of top in deck profile, if you get what I mean. There was like a real sense of like I didn't even know you in it, and I felt gassed for you.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I wanted to hit a little emotional beat at the end because
No,
it really did mean a
definitely.
lot to me.
Definitely. So what about you, Fabs? What are you saying? Like, what's the big jewel in your crown?
I promise I'm not copying. I'm not copying Neshi's homework, but I can't lie. It's the exact same for me getting married. One day I might tell the story of me getting married because it was a mission, guys. I'm telling you now, it was.
Whoa.
It was a mission, but I'll save that for another episode. But yeah, like it got to the stage that even after I actually got married, my dad even like took me aside once. He was like, "I'm really proud of you for getting it done," because yeah, it was a 3.5 to 4 year operation to yeah, 'cause-
Wow.
yeah. So that's probably for me definitely the biggest one. Just that I got there in the end. It's not easy to cross. And I don't know, in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't know. It's weird. The problem for me with a lot of my Yu-Gi-Oh accomplishments is that it's not so much that like I don't take them seriously, but I think that a lot of my Yu-Gi-Oh accomplishments I don't feel like I've achieved them yet. And so that's why there's none in Yu-Gi-Oh that's like, oh, I'm really proud of yet. Like, no, like for me, for example, one thing that I've wanted for a long time is to win a regionals. I've topped loads of regionals, but I've never top 4'd or won a regional. So like, I desperately want to top 4 or win a regional, and so it's like, and then it's like the same with like a premier event like Nats or something like. I've never topped anything like a Nats or YCS, something like that. Again, that's something that I want as well. So I'd say like for me, like a lot of those things is what I'm waiting for, and then don't worry, when that happens, guys. Look, Nathaniel, you won't say it as much as me. I'm gonna say it every show, guys. The banner is gonna be me holding the trophy. You'll be shocked. That's all.
Whoa.
Talk
to 'em.
Yeah,
Talk to these fools. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Like,
Forward to it,
I'm
man.
representing. But yes,
Nate has just messaged me saying that he's got to dip off because it's currently 1:45 in the morning UK time. Me and Fabs are just getting gassed over here.
Ungodly hours for y'all.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I need to go off as well. But no, this is an awesome post show. I think this is the first time that I've actually recorded the post show. So yeah, I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I did a good job. I finally was on point. But yeah, thank you guys.
I mean,
Good on.
I'll let you go.
even if we. No, I was gonna say, even if we don't like fucking release this in it, like it'd be cool to have this to just listen to like for ourselves in it, like because I like the kind of like the little free form sort of thing, like it's better gaseous.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah. So to the potential listeners, we'll see. Thank you all for watching, and the post show you don't get to hear that part. Sorry guys, you have to pay my Patreon.
Yeah, you have to subscribe to Patreon that we don't have yet.
$14.99 a day to hear the post show, guys. So yeah, just
it works out about a penny a word. You get your money's worth.
Anyway, take it easy.
Just type it
guys.
out as the
boys.
donations come in. Oh, thank you for the $5. Here's another couple hundred words.
All right, peace, guys.